I'm so excited you're here. I've been looking so forward to this video and putting this together for you because we're gonna have some fun. It's about fast food hacks, eating out, and how do you do that as a dieter or somebody who's trying to lose weight. And there's no better person to have on than my sister Holly, who is, I call her the restaurant queen, because every time we talk on the phone, not every time, most of the times, she's usually going through a drive-through ordering something. So,
And that's the truth. I'm the drive-through queen. I'm the fast food queen. I mean, I've hit them all and literally tested them all, especially being on peptides. What can I do? What can I eat? Because for me, it's social. For a lot of people, they love cooking at home. They have someone to cook for. I don't. And so I'm on working all day from my house. Well, I want to get out and go see some people and do some things. So I've learned the different places I can go that I can get something healthy to eat and still feel like I'm having fun going to do quick food. Now, this isn't the same as going to restaurants. It's a whole different show we can do on restaurants
we're going to
and
do
what you
that
can order
too.
and get there. But this is like fast food that everyone loves to go to and just kind of helping, train you to see what you can order and what you can do. Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, there are. And here's my disclaimer. I have to put the disclaimer out there. We're not saying this is health food. We're saying this is for people who love to eat out and go through drive-throughs. And there are plenty of you out there. I know. I'm probably not one that does it as much as everybody else, but I thought I'm going to get the one on who knows it and can give some direction. Here's the other disclaimer. We don't know what kind of oils they're made in. We don't know what kind of sauces. So we're going to encourage you, to ask questions. So this isn't about health food. It's just about making smart choices if you are going to fast food restaurants, right, Holly?
And it's about what works with your peptides on this diet that we're on. What works with it so you can still lose weight and still eat there.
and even
That's
people who aren't on peptides that are going to be watching this, a lot of you, haven't delved into the peptide world yet, but you're trying to maybe do keto
right.
or, carnivore
You're
or
on HCG or
whatever.
something
Yeah.
else, whatever.
So
You
hopefully
know,
this will help you. So are you ready to get started, Holly?
I am ready to get started. Yes.
Okay,
And
we're
not
going to
to,
switch back and forth. I'm going to put this up because we made some notes for you. And then here's the disclaimer also down at the bottom, dinamcclure.com, eating out hacks. You can go to my website. This list that we're going to give you will be on my website. And then eventually we're going to do restaurants and take you
yes.
through to some restaurants. But here we go. So I'm going to
Because
give it over to Holly.
I've been casing out restaurants as well. So,
Yeah.
and that's a whole different thing. You're being waited on, you have time, there's things to order, the menus are bigger. So that's a different discussion. But
And I
here
can
we
tell you
go. Okay.
Holly's favorite, I'm going to tell you your favorite place to sit when you go to a restaurant is at the bar because she's social. So she loves to talk to everybody and interact. I went with her. I'm going to tell this story. I went with her to a Texas Roadhouse when I was out visiting her in Weatherford. And we're sitting there and she's talking to all the bartenders that they know her. And all of a sudden they pull out this coaster and her name's on it. She's been there so much, she has her own coaster with her
I
own
have
name.
my own coaster, a valued customer, like,
So,
with your
so
own
when we do
tile.
this, I'm going to throw that picture up so you can see it. But right now we're fast food. So let's
Okay.
go, Holly. Take
Well,
it away.
I'm gonna start with these are the ones that are around me locally. I'm out of the suburb of Fort Worth, and here's the ones that are around me. And some of them may not be near you where you live, but some of them will be. So we'll just go with that. Rosa's Cafe. Okay, Rosa's Cafe is traditionally Mexican food, but since I'm not doing a lot of the Mexican food, here's what I do: a number 12 steak fajita with romaine lettuce and tomato only. It is prime Angus beef, wonderful, the most delicious steak you've ever had. It's about 3 to 4 ounces in there with romaine lettuce and tomatoes, so it's the perfect ounces. If you depending on how hungry you are, you can get one or two. They do have a steak salad, which also has tomatoes and it has cheese on it and has guacamole and sour cream. So if you're wanting all those things, get that because the steak is still the same steak. It's good. But I just get the tortilla. I eat it with a fork. I eat the steak, the lettuce, and like a little salad. And then I maybe take one or two bites to make myself feel good. And then I go to the parking lot and I go where there's birds and I tear off the rest and I feed it to the birds. So I'm very popular in all the parking lots with all the birds because they know my
You're the
car.
bird lady.
They say that crows actually know colors of cars and they know when you're, I swear to you, there's birds in certain places that I go that know my car. Um, So anyway, I love that. Wendy's has
Wait,
the
what,
best pecan.
before you go on to Wendy's, I just want to say my neighbor Carl was over last night and he goes, let's go to Rose's. And I was like, he goes, they've got some good food there. And I go, yes, they do. My sister works for the people who own Rose's. And I said, I can
Yes.
tell you the good stuff to buy there. Cause he was saying, we were talking about it. And I said, oh no, they have the best beef. They
Yes.
specialize in having really good beef. And so we were talking about Rose's just last night. So it must be a popular place
Yes.
where people love to go.
And my boss, who owns Capernaum Studios, is where I'm the marketing director for Capernaum Studios. Their family owns it; it's Christian owned, so I can tell you the quality of meat of everything in there is good
Is
quality.
that
So
just
that's for
Texas
sure.
based or do they have them elsewhere?
I think it's Texas based, pretty
Okay.
much only right now, but
Okay.
they're all over.
If you're not living in Texas, otherwise.
Right. However, that's a good lesson that when you go to a Mexican food restaurant, eat
Right.
fajitas. Fajita steak with grilled onions, grilled peppers, fajitas. You can do that and just not eat all the tortillas and chips and salsa, but just, do the meat of the chicken or shrimp, whatever you want
I
to
did
do,
that the other night with my
and do
daughter,
the grill.
son-in-law, my grandkids, and I'd already pretty much eaten. So, I picked on a little bit of the chicken and steak fajitas, but then I also ordered just a little cup because I'd pretty much already eaten just a little cup of guacamole. And that's a good fat,
It's a healthy fat. It's a
yeah.
healthy
So,
fat.
you just adjust and adapt, and you don't have to make a
Right.
big deal like I'm on a diet.
Right.
You just
Right.
order and figure it out. And then because I know I don't like to draw attention. I know you don't, Holly. We like to
Right.
just going to go out. We like to just go out and be part of the group and not make a big deal about it.
And when
So
I say diet, diet's just a way of eating. It's
it's
just
a
a
way
way
of
of
life.
life.
Yeah.
Everyone's on a diet. Either you're on an unhealthy diet or you're on
Yep.
a healthy diet. You're either on
True.
a vegetarian diet or you're on a carnivore
Carnivore.
diet.
A carnivore.
Carnivore diet. So I mean, it just depends on what kind of food you eat. That's the diet thing. Also,
Yeah.
now Wendy's apple pecan salad. I get it without the blue cheese crumbles, so I take it without the blue cheese. I get extra pecans because I like nuts, and it is a balanced warm chicken on the salad, romaine lettuce, which I
So
love,
good.
and I love the extra pecans, which for me is a treat. So that's a good one at Wendy's to do.
I would
So
always get that when I was on HCG, when I worked at the functional medicine place, and I kept a bottle of Walden's
yes,
raspberry, dressing. And instead of using their dressing, I'd get it. I go back to my work, and I would use that dressing because no fat, no carbs, and all that. And I still use the pecans, and the
yeah,
little bit of cheese in it, and it didn't throw me off. So that's an excellent one, for protein,
yes,
low carb.
yeah. I love the extra pecans. I'm just not a
So
big fan of the
good.
taste with the cheese. That's all. I'm just not a big fan of that cheese, but that's why. Okay, Subway. Subway, you get grilled chicken. They have grilled chicken in there, and they of course have salads. You can just get salads, but they also have wonderful grilled chicken, which you can do things with as well. You can get cheese put on it. You can put it on lettuce. They're very versatile. So Subway, that's everywhere. If you're at a Subway, that's
Right.
good to get there. And okay, Chipotle. Chipotle has got grilled. First of all, when you walk in there, I'm kind of excited because you can get the salad bowl. You can get the I get 2 scoops of shredded lettuce, and then I get a little scoop of spinach on top of it. And then you can choose the chicken, the barbacoa, or the steak. Now
What's
those other two
barbacoa?
are
What's barbacoa?
barbacoa is just a version of beef, and it's sweeter and also pork. Now, pork doesn't have any seasoning in it at all, and it probably is the lowest calorie one that you get. It's shredded pork, shredded for on
Ooh,
your salad. The chicken and the steak are just too spicy for me. I'm just not one of those people that like the spiciness. So I either get the pork or the barbacoa. And then you can get the scoop of guacamole, like we were talking about, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sour cream right there. Now, the wonderful thing about Chipotle is they've caught on to everybody wanting to do the protein thing. So you can get a cup of 6 ounces of chicken or steak or any of those meats and just get a cup of protein. So if you want to go and get a cup of
that's
protein,
good.
a little side of guacamole, right there, you've got your protein and your guacamole. You've got what you need, your healthy fat. So that's Chipotle is really a good, I think, for being on the diet and being versatile as
Right.
far as that goes.
That's good.
Chick-fil-A.
Good old
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I'm telling you, you can get the 8 piece or the 12 piece or the 6 piece grilled chicken nuggets grilled. Honey mustard sauce is the lowest calorie. It's only 50 calories. It's the
Really?
lowest calorie one. And
Okay.
I love the taste of that honey mustard with the grilled chicken. And then I get a side kale salad, a small kale salad.
Oh,
So that's what I do. They have sugar-free lemonade there, and of course, iced tea and all the other Coke drinks. But you know, if you want a different something different, you can do sugar-free lemonade. So to me, I did during the winter get soup there, like a cup of soup, and I lost weight still, and it was flavorful, but it has a lot of salt. I'm one of those people that retain the salt. So by the end of the day, my ankles were swelling, and I know, you know what? It's because I ate that soup. So you always have to, like, especially with fast food restaurants,
Yeah.
measure out what salt intake you're taking in, because you may not realize it or think it, but believe me, it's in there, and I can tell because my ankles swell. So I don't know
We'll
about
talk
y'all.
about this on restaurants, but I'm very sensitive to salt. Let's say call it table salt. Now, mineral salt is
Yeah.
different, but you get the table salt when you go to restaurants. And when I'd go to Texas Roadhouse, I would just be just tasting salt the next day and
Yeah.
retaining salt. And so I figured out how to just tell them, don't season mine, let me season my own. So you have to continue to assess and adjust.
Right. Right. And I never kind of was like this, but I'm kind of enjoying it. It's kind of fun as you start to go on this where you're losing weight, finding out what you can eat that you keep losing and you're not gaining, but you're still staying healthy. I think it's a challenge, and it's a changing the whole way that you're used to eating and restructuring your mindset to just still enjoy going out to eat, but just choosing wisely
Are you
but not
willing to say
sparing
how
it.
much weight you've lost so far?
We will do that at the end.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's In and Out. In and Out. Of course, California, when I lived there for years, that was the popular thing. And now they're everywhere and they're expanding beyond. In and Out is great. Not for the French fries, not for the shakes. Yes, for the Diet Cokes, but more importantly, you can order protein style. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it with the lettuce and the beef and tomato, and you can get tomatoes, single, double, get cheese on it, tomato, lettuce, pickles, whatever you want, but don't get the sauce, okay? Because they'll throw the sauce on there anyway. But there's also two other options, and Dean and I really were excited about this. There's the Flying Dutchman, which they put mustard on the patties and grill it in the mustard, which just adds that flavor to it. And mustard is so good for you,
So
isn't it,
good.
Dean?
Yeah. Carnivores can use mustard. It's guilt free. It's great.
It really
Keto,
gets your
any of them.
metabolism going as much as you want. You can use it.
Yeah.
So you can use that on the Flying Dutchman. And again, it comes wrapped in lettuce and you do it that way or a protein style. So protein, animal style, and Flying Dutchman. Those are kind of if you ask for the private or the secret diet, the secret menu, say, what's the secret menu? They'll tell you those. They're kind of proud now to tell you this. For a while, no one really knew about them, but now they're like huge. Everyone knows about them. So In and Out, again, another one. I went ahead the other day and got a Flying Dutchman, and they go, "You want fries?" I'm like, "Okay." And I thought, all right, I know this isn't on my thing, but and I went and I ate the burger. And by the time I got the fries, I was like, okay, 3 or 4 fries. And then I felt like I had my fun, like I felt rewarded. And then, of course, I fed the birds in the parking lot. So all the birds were gathered around my window. So they ate the rest of the fries. So
The birds
I
race
just
in on you,
love feeding
Holly.
the I love feeding the birds. Hey, God will love you too because you're considering the poor, the little, birds and animals. You're helping them. So anyway, no, I'm teasing, but I honestly, it's like I didn't even want the fries. I was already full
Yeah.
after doing what I did. Okay, Starbucks. Dina and I just love the egg white bites. It's
Right.
the lowest calorie one. Get it in the morning if you're off to somewhere, or I've even done it during the day if you just want a light kind of a snack to protein to get you going, 2 eggs to get you going. And there's sugar-free lattes, and you can literally get a latte with barely any milk or milk-free, sugar-free. You can get sugar-free vanilla or caramel put in it, so you can make it like you want. So Starbucks will work with you on giving you something low calorie, and I like that about
I think
Starbucks.
for me, I'm fat adapted. So, fat is good for me. So when I do
Yes.
a latte, I'll say just one pump of sugar-free vanilla, and then make it half and half, or whip or cream. And
Yes.
yeah, and it's so
Yes.
good. It's so good.
So
And
good.
so for me, I can do that because I am fat adapted. Some of you might have to, think that one through and use whatever form you like. But I don't do that every day or every week. I use it as a special treat for me. Like
Right.
like Holly said, if I'm on my way somewhere and I just want to treat myself. But yeah, the egg white bites. I learned how to hack them and make them myself. But so I'll make a big batch of them sometimes and have them in the refrigerator that I can grab them when I'm going out or whatever. So you can have fun with this and adapt it to however you want.
And I just go to Starbucks because I'm happy doing that. Okay, Whataburger. I used to get ripped by them all the time because I drink Diet Coke. Okay, I'm scaling down. I've gone down from a large now to a medium, so I'm scaling down. But I love the Coke Zero and Diet Coke. Well, anything else on their menu is, of course, burgers and sauce and all. I don't even know if that's good meat. I'm like just not sure of that. So what I did find though, they have chicken fajita, and it's just grilled chicken on a tortilla with green peppers and onions. Okay, you can eat that. That's a fajita. You can do that. So if you're at a Whataburger, which is all over the place, that's something else you can get. And just fast food, again, you can eat the tortilla if you want or not, but it's quick, easy, and low calories. So that's another good one at Whataburger. Okay, Arby's. Everyone's like, ooh, Arby's. But you know what? They've got a cup of steak, and I mean, it's
Yeah.
good sirloin steak. And they've got a cup of that steak, and you can go in there and get that, and then a low cal drink or iced tea or something. And that's protein. So again, more and more restaurants. I just saw a thing on Fox News the other day that McDonald's or ABC or something, McDonald's now is doing a protein menu because they caught on. So all the places now are starting to do protein menus.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying yes or no, but we don't know what it's made of. So I don't know.
I would not eat food at McDonald's.
Me neither.
So I'm just saying I am not promoting it. What I'm saying is all the restaurants are catching on.
Right.
So Arby's, Chipotle, they're like, they realize
I
they
think
have to sell protein.
GLPs and that are trying to lose weight, that they're honed in on that now and adapting menus for that.
And realizing it's long term. It's not short
Right.
term.
Right.
This is the thing to come.
It's not
And
a
they're
diet
having to
fix.
adjust.
This is
Right.
a life change.
Right. And they're probably not selling as many hamburgers as they used to because people aren't eating that stuff anymore. So, that's probably some of it too. Okay, Panera. Panera is another one where I actually love it. Some of the soups, like I love the squash soup, I love the tomato soup. Some of them probably have starch and probably have more salt in it, but I've been able to still eat it and still lose, is what I'm saying, like a cup of it. They have all sorts of salads. You can get a half and half on their menu, and they have a great chicken, strawberry chicken salad. They have others that are good. So that's another place where you can kind of adjust your diet and get what you want to get and still have healthy.
That's good, Holly. So that's, I'm sure there's more. If you think of some, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. We're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna post this. Well, it's already posted on my website, so you can go get this list if you want to. But and then we're gonna be eventually doing a restaurant one. And just kind of giving you some ideas there. But let me know if this helps you. Let me know if this is the kind of content you like, because we want to make it practical. Like Holly said, she's cut her Diet Cokes down to medium size. We always tease her about that.
And I get sugar-free lemonade now. Sugar-free lemonade.
So it's sugar-free lemonade. But
and
like I said, ask questions. You can ask questions about what oils do you cook this in. If you want to dive deeper and figure out that kind of thing. And like she said, choose your sauces. With or without. That makes a big difference. Depending on what you have. And just play with it. And like I said, just watch yourself. Look for the salt Holly was talking about. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. So I hope this helps. I'd love to have some feedback to know if it's something that content that you like, and we will put more out like this.
Right.
Is there anything else?
And another thing I want to comment on, Taco Bell, I know for a fact is 70% of their meat is not real meat. So I don't go to places like Taco Bell. And McDonald's, it's mystery to me what they put. There's some there's some places. The ones we mentioned are ones that I've done a little bit of research, not a lot, but a little bit enough to know that the beef is good, or it's real chicken, or real, it's not reprocessed or pumped full of water type of thing. So these are for the most part. But again, we're not here as medical doctors or authorities or saying go eat this food.
This is healthy food. We're just saying if you eat out, these are some good choices. If you're going to do it.
Fast, good choices. I've lost 44 pounds and I'm still going. and I'm doing it. In fact, I'm getting ready to go right now, go somewhere fast food and go buy one of these things we've been talking about. Because this is what I do twice. I cooked this morning with eggs and a little bit of peanut butter. And boy, we could do another whole show on fun little things to do. I took 2 eggs this morning and a scoop of cottage cheese and blended it and mixed it and then cooked it and put other cheese over it. Protein, protein, protein. They're so good for you. So yes, we do fun things at home too and great
It's
recipes at
nice,
home.
but you've got to find your own diet. And no, we're not telling
Yes,
anybody to eat like we do. I'm getting
right.
ready to go in and make myself a filet. I'll use some of my steak sauce, which has the fat and the carbs in it because it's made of butter, brown butter, and cream cheese and beef broth. It's so delicious, and I get excited about it. So
Okay,
I'll
I'm
have
coming to your house. I'm kind of come over to your house.
I'll
That
take my
sounds better
steak,
than
and
what
I
I'm gonna do.
also have fermented cheese, like brie, and I'll have a little bit of brie for fermentation. So it's everybody's different, and
Yes,
there's
yes,
no condemnation for one way or the other. You have to find your own
yes,
path, and what works for you. And like I said, you will adjust because it will. My diet changed some things in my body, and I had to adjust myself because I was getting healthier and I was taking too much medication in some one area because God had
yeah,
already begun to restore me. So you have to be aware and be tuned into your own body, to your own self,
yes,
and navigate this journey. Nobody else is going to care about health like you do. Let me just,
right.
I want to go back to this. Holly, just give me a second. I'm learning how to use my new app. So Holly's the first one to get to be on with me. So anyway, Holly,
Yeah,
yay. Thank you. And we'll
I
do
do
this
first.
again. And if you have other ideas you'd like us to maybe share on, or want me to share on, let me know and we will put some things together.
Yes,
I've been doing a bunch of content today, so I'm going to be posting that. So I'm so glad you tune in. I love you guys, and
thank you.
share, yeah, tap, share, and like, and help me out here. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye, Holly.
Bye.